If you struggle to say no, your brain might be wired by this hidden childhood pattern. You say yes when you mean no, every single time. Who can't say no don't have a kindness problem. They have a survival problem, and their brain has been running the same broken program since childhood. And the worst part, you're not doing it because you want to. You're doing it because something deep in your psychology is making the choice for you before you even open your mouth. Today, we're going to break that down. What's actually happening inside the mind of someone who can't say no, and why it's costing them more than they realize. Psychology researchers have studied this behavior for decades. And what they found isn't what most people expect. It's not weakness, it's not kindness. It's a survival response, one your brain learned to protect you from something painful. My mom told me I'll never hit 1,000 subscribers in 2 weeks. If you've ever had someone doubt you, prove her wrong with me. Hit subscribe right now. Let's show her together. And once you understand what that is, everything changes. Before we get into it, if you're someone who struggles with this, you're going to want to stay until the end. Because I'm going to show you the exact psychological pattern that keeps people stuck saying yes, and what it actually takes to break it. And if content like this hits different for you, hit subscribe. We break down the psychology of human behavior every week, and people are telling us it's changing how they see themselves. Okay, let's get into it. Point 1. The people-pleasing trap. There's actually one specific moment where the pattern starts. I'll show you exactly when it happens before this section is over. Most people think saying yes too much is a personality trait. Like some people are just nicer than others. But psychology tells a different story. People who struggle to say no aren't just agreeable people. They're people operating from a deeply ingrained fear. The fear of being rejected, abandoned, or seen as difficult. This is called fawn response behavior, a psychological survival mode where the brain has learned that keeping others comfortable is how you stay safe. And here, where the pattern starts, it almost always traces back to early relationships. Environments where love or approval felt conditional. Where speaking up led to tension, guilt, or conflict. So the brain made a deal: keep the peace, keep saying yes, stay safe. The problem? That deal doesn't expire. It follows you into adulthood, into your job, your relationships, your daily life. Point 2. What's happening in the brain? And there's a second layer to this that most people never talk about. I'll get to it in a second, and it's probably the most important part. When you're about to say no, your brain doesn't just weigh the decision logically. It activates the same part of the brain that processes social rejection. And rejection, to the brain, registers the same as physical pain. That's not a metaphor. Studies using brain scans have confirmed it. So when someone asks you to do something you don't want to do, your brain isn't asking, do I want to do this? It's asking, will saying no get me rejected? And if your nervous system has been wired to treat rejection as dangerous, the answer is always, just say yes, it's safer. This is why logic doesn't fix it. You can know you're overcommitting. You can know you need to say no, and still feel completely unable to. Because it was never a logic problem. It's a nervous system problem. The good news: the nervous system can be rewired, and I'll show you how that actually works. But first, there's one more piece of this you need to understand. Point 3. The hidden cost nobody talks about. Question: have you ever said yes to something, then spent the next hour resenting it? Or worse, resenting the person who asked? That's not an accident. Every time you say yes when you mean no, there's a psychological cost. It's called self-betrayal. And over time, it creates a specific kind of resentment that builds quietly. Not toward others, toward yourself. People who can't say no often carry this deep, low-grade anger that they can't explain. They feel used, even by people who aren't trying to use them. They feel invisible, even in rooms full of people they've helped. Because every yes that wasn't real slowly erodes your sense of identity. You stop trusting your own feelings. You start to believe your needs don't matter. And here's what's wild. The people around them often don't even realize it's happening. Because on the outside, these people look perfectly fine. Reliable, helpful, easy to be around. Real quick, if this is hitting home right now, drop a comment below. Say same or this is me. I want to know how many people are watching this and recognizing themselves. Because this pattern is way more common than people admit. And a lot of people have been carrying this alone. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to keep going deeper into content like this, now's a good time. Hit that button. We're building something here. All right, let's finish this. The psychological shift. So how does someone who's wired this way actually start to change? Not by forcing themselves to say no. Not by rehearsing scripts in the mirror. It starts with something most people skip entirely. Learning to tolerate the discomfort of disappointing someone. That discomfort, that guilt, that anxiety isn't a sign that you did something wrong. It's your nervous system running its old program. Psychologists call this distress tolerance training. And the goal isn't to make the discomfort go away. It's to show your brain, over and over, that you can feel it and survive it. That the person didn't leave. The relationship didn't end. You didn't lose everything. Start small. Say no to low-stakes requests. Notice the guilt. Sit with it. Watch it pass. Every time you do that, you're literally rewiring the response. You're teaching your brain a new truth. I can set a limit, and I will still be okay. The second shift is identifying what you're actually protecting. Ask yourself, when I say yes to this, what am I afraid will happen if I say no? Get specific. Don't let your brain give you a vague answer. That fear, once you name it, loses a significant amount of its power over you. People who can't say no aren't broken. They're not weak. They're people who learned a strategy that made sense at one point and never got the chance to unlearn it. But the brain is adaptable, and this pattern can shift. Not overnight, but it does shift. And it starts with one moment of choosing yourself, even when it feels wrong. If this video made you feel something, if you recognized yourself or someone you know, subscribe to Minds Unlocked. Every week, we go deep into the psychology of human behavior. Why people do what they do, why you do what you do. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.